call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
New Zealand Public Health and Disability Southern DHB Elections Bill, third reading.
The Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr Speaker, I move that the New Zealand Public Health and Disability Southern District Health Board Elections Bill be now read a third time. I thank the House and the Select Committee for the speed with which it's considered this bill, and I'd also like to thank the parties, including the Labour Party, that supported this legislation. I'd also like to acknowledge the officials at the Ministry of Health for their dedicated work in preparing the legislation. But most of all, I'd like to thank the Commissioner, Cathy Grant, and her team for the work they've done so far in the southern region. This is an important bill. The effect of it is to allow for the term of the Southern District Health Board Commissioner to be extended from December 2016 until the triennial election scheduled for 2019. That provides the Commissioner with sufficient time to develop, oversee and implement a financially sustainable plan for quality health services for the people of Otago and Southland. Without this legislative change, the Commissioner would have had less than 18 months to improve the Southern District Health Board's position. Back in June 2015, I dismissed the board of the Southern DHB because of my dissatisfaction with its performance and in particular with its management of the finances. I had lost confidence in its ability to deliver on its strategy for the region, including delivering much-needed capital redevelopments at Dunedin Hospital. The government needs to be able to invest with confidence in the health infrastructure of the southern region. The Commissioner has developed a work plan that has begun to address the financial and service challenges which she has been consulting on with the District Health Board staff and Southern District Health Board communities. At the same time, the Dunedin Hospital redevelopment is being quickly progressed through the new Southern Partnership Group. I note that the District Health Board is currently performing better than budget for the 2015-16 year. These are the first steps in achieving sustained financial performance improvements, and I look forward to the continuation of such improvement over the Commissioner's extended term. In parallel with the work undertaken by the Commissioner on the DHB's financial and clinical sustainability, the Government is working with the District Health Boards on 2 streams of capital development. This includes $22.5 million for urgent hospital maintenance, as well as facilities upgrades in gastroenterology, audiology and the intensive care unit. These projects will ensure the immediate demands around delivery of services continue to be met, while planning for the major redevelopment of Dunedin Hospital progresses. The Health Select Committee examined the bill and recommended it be passed without amendment. From public submissions, the committee raised a concern that Ngāi Tahu felt that its access to decision-making was diminished under the new governance arrangements. The committee strongly urged the Commissioner to engage with Ngāi Tahu to ensure that Māori can contribute to DHB decision-making and that the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi are upheld. This concern was also raised by some members in the debate around the second reading of this bill. I understand that the Commissioner is currently in consultation with the Chair of the DHB's Iwi Governance Committee regarding the provision of nominations for Māori representation on the DHB statutory advisory committees. The Commissioner has previously affirmed that the status of the DHB's treaty relationship agreement with local iwi groups. Through this relationship agreement and other established communication mechanisms, the principles of the treaty will continue to be recognised and applied. The committee also encouraged the Commissioner to consider how its work can be made more transparent and recommended that the Commissioner sets goals and targets and report on these to the public at the end of each year. Public meetings of the DHB Statutory Advisory Committee meetings have now been advertised by the Commissioner, and the first of those meetings will be held later this month. While welcomed, public meetings are not the only contribution to transparency. The 2016-17 DHB annual planning process is currently underway. Initial goals from the Commissioner's plan, which was published back in December 2015, are expected to be included in this document. This is the key District Health Board accountability document, and the statement of intent which forms part of it is publicly reported at the end of the financial year. The District Health Board's annual plan is also available on its website. The annual report, which is also publicly available, provides information on key aspects of the DHB's performance. In its second reading, some members raised concerns that the bill would affect local democratic rights to elect a District Health Board. The Select Committee considered whether a requirement to consult with the community should be added to the bill to overcome the perceived reduction of democracy. I understand the concerns about democracy, but do not propose the cancellation of a local DHB election lightly. This is a serious case where correcting the financial situation is important to allow for quality health services to be delivered in a more sustainable way to the local population, and that needs to happen sooner rather than later. The bill therefore impacts only one election at Southern District Health Board and will help ensure that the next board, to be appointed as part of the 2019 local body elections, will begin its term on a more secure financial footing. I agree that there is a need for the Commissioner to work closely with local communities. When appointing the Commissioner, I asked her to ensure that she was working closely with all stakeholders in the district, and this expectation continues during this extended term. I know that since her appointment, the Commissioner has held meetings and forums with a wide range of stakeholders and regularly updates the public on District Health Board issues through updates in local newspapers, on television and via the radio, and via the Southern DHB website. I note that the committee considered that there are appropriate mechanisms for public consultation and no change to the bill would be required. The introduction of public advisory committee meetings provides additional opportunity for the public to better understand how decisions in their local district are being made. Continued work by the Commissioner offers an opportunity to resolve the District Health Board's financial challenges and to help secure more sustainable health services and health facilities for the people of the Southern District. The Commissioner has already begun to address the deficit challenge, and it's important that she is given time to complete this important work. And I want to thank Kathy Grant for that work. I also want to thank Richard Thompson, Graham Crombie and Angela Pitchford, the other commissioners, for the role that they are playing. I think we've got a very well-balanced team. But I especially want to thank actually the people who work at the Southern District Health Board. So that's the doctors, the nurses, the non-clinical people, the administrators. It's obviously been a time of stress and change there, and they have been very supportive and welcoming of the installation of a Commissioner. As I say, it wasn't something that we did lightly. It was a step that was taken once all other options had been exhausted. We'd had the DHB under intensive monitoring, we'd had a Crown appointee on the board, and in the end it had got to the point where everyone across the district, regardless of political affiliation, decided that this was the right step. So I want to thank my National Party colleagues in the region for the support they are giving the Commissioner. And I also want to thank actually David Clark and Claire Curran, local MPs, for the support they are also bringing to bear down there. We may not agree on everything, but we are very keen across this Parliament to see long-term sustainable health services restored for the people of the Southern District. I commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to.
Mr.
Dr.
Speaker.
David Clark.